Welcome to a not so regular edition of Making an Impact. We're making a Lucha Impact. Your one stop for all things Impact. My usual intro doesn't really work. It's the Super Show edition, the recap from this weekend's phenomenal cross promotion event between Lucha Underground and Impact Wrestling. Hell of a match, hell of a series, hell of a show. Heading into the last two matches, I didn't think there was a match of the year candidate, but I thought the entire show was a show of the year because I thought, like, you know, if you're grading out, all of these fucking matches were 3.5, 3.75 stars. Like, they were all really fucking good. But then you had the Eddie Sami Callihan match or Jeremiah Crane match, and that just fucking raised the intensity levels to a whole new height. And we'll get to that, but this has been a fantastic show. It's the event of the weekend, in my opinion. Though of all the other, I know everyone's going gaga about the Spring Break Joey Janela show, and WWN Live puts on some fantastic events as well. But outside of maybe Supercard of Honor because of Omega and Rhodes, which is a New Japan match in my opinion, I think this is the event of the weekend, and yes, including the 7-hour Chicktacular that will be in the main event on Sunday. So, Stryker and Josh Matthews are live streaming right now, and they're probably talking about something relevant and necessary that I should be listening to, but I'll hopefully catch the back end of that. So let's go through this and start with the first match of the night, which, if I remember, I don't have a run sheet in front of me because I was too busy live tweeting and just enjoying the fuck out of this event. So I'm gonna go by what I remember being the order. If I'm off by one or two, just give me a break. That's all I ask. So we opened up with I thought it was supposed to be a six-way, but it very much ended up being kind of a tag match at times, but also kind of not being a tag match. It was a very funky match, although I think it was an honest-to-God six-way. It was just teams taking sides. It was Moose, Seidel, Caleb Conley against a now bald, which I thought was very jarring because you don't expect to see him without hair. So that was wild to see. I'm blanking on his goddamn name. Jack Evans, there it is. Jack Evans was bald now. Chavo was wearing a singlet, and Matanza. So Matanza's 5'9", maybe. And Moose is 6'6", and he walks up to Matanza, and they're like the two biggest guys in the matches. I'm like, where? I see Moose, but where's the other? Oh, but Matanza was great. Fun little match. The opener's supposed to be one of the top 3 matches usually within the card because it's supposed to get the fans geeked up for the event. This was, in my opinion, the second to worst, but like by saying worse, it implies bad, but it's not. But it's just the second furthest from the best. Like, this was a good match, fun match, but it was quick, and it ended pretty suddenly. If I remember correctly, Matanza won with like this huge fucking slam on Caleb Conley. And Stryker puts over the fact that big impactful moves will end matches tonight. And I'm like, well, duh. So that was a cool little spot. Like thinking about it, I think Impact had a rough night in terms of wins in the cross promotional matches. I think they won. I think Lucha Underground won the night actually. So that's interesting. That actually is something that I like to see. It shows that they're willing to put over other guys and still have great matches. So Matanza wins the opener. Fun little match. Quick little note. Josh Matthews and Matt Stryker are the literal best on commentary together. They had so much fun. They were being giant dicks at times, but all other times they were really selling the match, especially during the Jeremiah Crane, Eddie Edwards match. These two guys were really selling the idea of the match. Stryker was defending Crane by basically saying, listen, I don't like what he did, but inside that ring, you know you're going to take chances, and sometimes this shit happens. And Josh Matthews like, yeah, but you shouldn't be doing this shit with a baseball bat. And they really dug into their stances without getting disrespectful, but really owning the fact that this was personal between the two men, and I like that. The rest of the time, they were having fun because they were supposed to be having fun. So the six-man opener was a lot of fun. Good stuff. If I remember correctly, we then went to the Knockouts title match between Ali and Taya Valkyrie. Now, technically, this is it was presented as an Impact versus Impact match. It wasn't one of the matches of the night that were cross-promotional, but Taya does work for both promotions. I don't know how that works out in the overall standings, but the emphasis of the night wasn't so much about the companies versus the companies, but the fantastical experience that we're now all taking place in together. This idea that all these guys are coming together for an amazing showcase. That's more what the night was about, instead of it being us versus them. It was us celebrating these companies, and I like that idea. That was a good idea. This was probably the second stiffest match on the card. Between Allie and Taya. Taya was she was working Allie over, man. She was making Allie earn her plays, which I thought was funny because I think Allie has more experience than Taya. But it was a really fun match. It really put over this idea that Taya doesn't give a fuck and she's just gonna, pound the shit out of whoever she wants to. And Allie really showed that she's the John Cena of the Knockouts division. She'll get knocked down, but she will get up and she will come back at you, and that's exactly what she did. I believe she won with the Code Breaker, if I remember correctly. She retains. Fun match. These two were stiff as fuck. Oh, I loved it. So good. Oh, so good. We then go to, in my opinion, my favorite match of the night. It's not the best. That was Eddie and Sammy. But this match was just full of nonsense. And I love when wrestling can not take itself seriously on a card sometimes and just be nonsense. It's OVE versus Teddy Hart, the Cat Wrangler, and Scott Steiner. Oh, my God. So before the show started, I was watching some of the pre-show on Twitch, and Scott Steiner Josh was trying to interview Scott Steiner on Twitch, and he's like, no, I don't want to be interviewed. And then Josh's like, all right, and then Scott called him a cocksucker, and then told him to go fuck off. I'm like, oh, my God. So Josh walks away, and you can hear Scott in the background going, oh, Josh! Josh, get back here! Josh is like running away! Oh my God, it was the funniest shit. So obviously they're making so many callbacks to this during the match. Teddy's working most of the match, and he looks fantastic for 37. He opens the match up with a fucking moonsault before the bell even rings. I don't even know if the Christs were ready for it, but oh God, it was fucking hilarious. A lot of big moves. Teddy makes a hot tag near the end. Scott clears the ring with a bunch of clotheslines. I think a couple suplexes, and then he puts Jake Christ, I think, the blonde one. I think that's Jake, in the Steiner recliner. And one of my dudes from Powerbomb Dudes who goes, he could have gotten out of that fucking submission a lot easier if he wasn't wearing socks. We had some fun tonight, man. It was good shit. So next match was, if I remember correctly, Trevor Lee versus Famous B, although Famous B didn't show up. Well, he did show up, but he's like, yeah, I'm not wrestling. So he brings out, on a one-day contract, according to Matt Stryker, Marty the Moth. He comes out and faces Trevor Lee. They're basically the same person, so that kind of destroys the myth that they're wrestling as one another. Fun little match. Trevor Lee gets the one with the tights. Marty really puts over the fact that he's insane, including a spot where he goes in the corner. And after Trevor Lee tried to drive his head into the corner, Trevor Lee watches in horror as Marty Scarl, not Marty Scarl, Marty the Moth, delivers his own 10 headbutts to himself in the corner. And Trevor Lee's like, you're crazy. And they put over the fact that Marty's pretty insane on commentary. Trevor Lee wins with a grab of the tights, and we bid adieu to that match. Then, if I remember correctly, we got the 6-man tag, which featured the return of DJZ, Andrew Everett, and Desmond Xavier versus Drago. God, I know your name. King Cuerno and Aerostar, that's it. These three had a very fun Cruiserweight X Division style, Lucha Libre style match. They put over DJZ having trained in Lucha Libre and being more prone to doing Lucha-type moves now. Drago's starting to show his age. I think Drago's 41, 42, so he's not as crisp as he was 3 or 4 years ago, but Aerostar is fantastic, and King Cuerno worked as the muscle in the match. If I remember correctly, because this match was so fast-paced, I think Aerostar ended up pinning Andrew Everett. I don't even remember now. Maybe? Don't quote me on that one. That match seems to be the triangle, that triangle in the ocean. What's the? I don't even know. I'm so excited. I enjoyed the show so much. I'm just Bermuda Triangle. There it is. I completely forgot so much of the details of some of these matches because like so many of the more major events just were so impactful and just oh my God. I think it was Cage and Eli were next. No, I think it was the tag team match was next. Either or. We'll go with the tag team titles next. So it's Impact World Tag Team titles, just like the Knockouts title was on the line. This belt was on the line. Ortiz and Santana, Willie Mack, and Killshot came like a hair, like a fucking hair close to being on the Match of the Year contender list at the end of the year when we nominate and vote for Matches of the Year. These guys killed it. There was a little screw-up near the end, but they recovered nicely. And Santana, told the fans who were gasping, like, "You fucked up!" Santana told them all, like, in mid-moonsault, "Fuck you!" And I just thought that was amazing. They won with the street sweeper, and both teams get a standing ovation, especially as Killshot and Mac linger in the ring post-match. They get a nice ovation. Hot crowd. I don't know how many it was in there, but it looked like 3,000 to 4,000. It was packed to the rim. Unlike Goldberg's Hall of Fame speech, which was that was mean to do to him, and the WWN live show, which had a lot of open seats up in the second sections in the I don't know what you'd call them, upper reserves. There wasn't an empty seat that I could see in the house. The atmosphere was great. The mood was great. The one thing that I will point out to anyone who maybe didn't see the pre-show is there's going to be a lot of moments where they're talking and then they start playing clips over the announcers. That's because there's no cues to let the announcers know that they're going to start like a video package. Usually when they when they sit down on TV or what have you, they have some way of saying, "Hey, in 25 seconds we're playing a video package," and then they'll see like a red light pop up, and that means they're off. They didn't have a setup for that at the event for that, so there's a lot of times in the early parts of the show where they would get cut off for these video packages. But they would come back around. And near the end, they started to adapt a lot better and started to get a hang for it. So I thought that was, one of the things I noticed, but one of the things they definitely improved on mid-stride. Again, none of these matches were bad. All these matches are damn well worth your time. But there's always a most impressive, which I would say would probably be the tag team title match, and a least impressive or a most disappointing, and that would be the Eli Drake Brian Cage match. Good match. It was fun. Fine. Good stuff. But it was like 10 minutes long, if that, and this match could have been like Match of the Night. So I was a little kind of confused why it was so quick. Eli Drake cuts a scathing promo on all the fans, calls someone a 40-year-old virgin, I think. That got the fans going. The audio in the arena wasn't great because they're using the house arena sound effects or sound setup, so you're not going to have great audio a lot of times when people take microphones because you're picking up the audio they're hearing in the arena that you're hearing now through the speakers. So it's like a dual setup. With Impact, what it is like when they grab a microphone, what they're hearing goes into a separate outlet that you hear on the audio alongside the commentators, which is not directly connected to the audio you hear from the arena. There's several different microphones for this, and when you do like these house show events, you pick up whatever audio you pick up from the cameras with what you're hearing. There's no direct feed from the microphones, and that's can be problematic for your auditory listening adventures. So Cage and Eli, share some memories and some stories of their time together. More Eli than Cage, and Eli's like, "How about we just say fuck it, drink some beers and go home?" Cage like, "Sure." And they go to grab some beers, like Stone Cold style, and then Eli takes a swing at Cage, and Cage's like, "You stupid fucker," and starts beating the hell out of Eli. Match went about 10 minutes. Good stuff. The one thing that I said this on Thursday, I'll say it again. I think Brian Cage needs a new wardrobe because him wearing a singlet just looks goofy. Like the dude has Ultimate Warrior's body. He has Ultimate Warrior's dream body, and he should be showing that motherfucker off. Like, come on, man. He's really intense, so really solid in the ring. I like this match. Part of me thinks that they kind of held back a bit because it was, the third last match of the night. And this is a match that you could see headlining Bound for Glory. So why give everything away? That's my thought. I don't know if that's the case. We'll see. Match of the night, best match of the night, most story-driven match of the night, most personal match of the night has to be Eddie Edwards and Solomon Crowe, Jeremiah Crane. What are some other names? Sami Callihan. I Quit match. I knew it was going to kind of come down to... My thought was... It was going to be Callahan going to hit Alicia Edwards, who was backstage at the event, and Eddie going, "I quit," because that's usually how you see faces give up. And they're not going to have Callahan say I quit unless, because the only time you see a heel say I quit is when they're JBL cowardly bitches. By the way, we're reviewing that in 2 weeks, so that's going to be fun. So I didn't expect to see an I quit from Callahan just out of pure pain, nor did I expect to see out of Solomon Crow. So you didn't see any of that. Why am I saying why? All right, anyway. So this match just had fucking everything. You had guardrails, chairs. They brought the baseball bat out, and it got a huge fucking pop. Everything about this match was brutal and violent. At one point, Callahan's choking out Edwards, and he goes, "Are you gonna quit?" And he basically says, "I'm not gonna quit, Solomon Crow." And he's like, "Oh, you stupid fucker." So Eddie dropped his Solomon Crow name on TV, and he got a decent NXT chant out of it. End comes when, if I remember correctly, Jeremiah Crane, Sami Callihan, hit Eddie in the face with his chair while Eddie had another chair in his face, and he cold clocked Eddie with it, quote unquote, knocking him out. And then, Callahan grabbed the baseball bat and was about to, bash Eddie's head in because Eddie can't give up and say, I quit. Referee gets thrown out of the ring, and Don Callis, of all people, comes running out, and he's like, don't you fucking do it. Don't you fucking do it, Callahan. Don't do it. And then Callahan raises the bat, and Callis just throws a towel, and he's like, no, it's over. I'm calling it. And I'm just like, oh, this was great. If you only watch one fucking match from the whole show, make it this one. This one's going to be on the WrestleCorp year-end. Well, ideally it will be. What we do for our year-end WrestleCorp awards is we amass a running tally throughout the year, and then we cut them down to 5 or 6 picks per category. This feels like it's got a real good chance to be one of the 6 representatives for Match of the Year. Like, it was story-driven, it was fun, it was brutal, it was everything you want it to be. I don't know how it's not going to be. Like, honestly, I can't see that it's not Match of the Year. Or at least a contender, I should say. It was really fucking good. Great hardcore match, great story-driven match, everything you wanted in wrestling this was. The main event was going to be Phoenix and Austin Aries versus El Patron and Pentagon. But I don't know what happened. Not in the match. I know what happened in the match, but something happened apparently. Earlier in the day, you had the Austin Aries Alberto El Patron face-off. They were really hyping the hell out of it. It got a lot of good buzz. But then we get to the match tonight, and it's a triple threat. Phoenix, Pentagon, and Austin Aries. And that's peculiar because there's no El Patron in that sentence. So then I started asking myself, well, where the fuck's El Patron? Why isn't El Patron here? What the fuck? What the duck? No one has an answer. Stryker and Matthews didn't really have a clue as to what happened or what was going on. At the end of the day, it's all speculation. It could be storyline driven. It could be El Patron's hurt. They were very coy about it, which makes me think that this was something that was very real, that he didn't want to do the show. Maybe there's still bad blood between El Patron and Lucha Underground on El Patron's side of things when he worked there, so I don't know if that had something to play into it. I don't know. Good match, though. These 3 dudes on the fly put together a hell of a match. I'm still worried about Austin Aries because near the end of the match, both brothers, because Phoenix and Pentagon are brothers, threw super kicks at Aries, and I don't know if he just sold it really fucking well or if the kicks itself were so super violent. Aries kind of just tumbled outside, and he was down. Did not move for like a good 4 minutes, and they didn't even when the show was ending, he was still there and not doing a fucking thing. So I don't know if he's selling it really well or what. It was really crazy. If I remember correctly, Pentagon pinned Phoenix, though, for the win. Big news, and this is kind of making me think that El Patron's definitely done and may not even be at Redemption. Big news for Redemption. We aren't just getting a world title Impact match. No. We are also getting a Lucha Underground Championship match as Phoenix will take on Pentagon Jr. at Redemption on April, 22nd? 22nd. Dude, Redemption's coming together, man. I'll fucking tell you what. I'm very excited for the show. It could be very well that they're putting this match on the card just in case they need to do a triple threat world title match if El Patron is in fact done with Impact. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know the situation with that, but the announcement that we're getting a Lucha Underground Championship match at Redemption between these two men is fucking amazing. I can't wait to see that. That's going to be killer as hell. The relationship between Lucha Underground, AAA, and Impact is strengthened to an all-time high after the show. They paid super fucking respect to the Lucha Underground talent. Impact looked amazing. The fans were pro-Lucha, anti-Impact, which I'm getting, you know, I don't get the hate anymore. Don Callis and Scott D'Amore are putting on a hell of a shows, man. Like, their first tapings raised the ratings. Now, granted, the ratings dipped a bit this week, but that's fine. Ratings ebb and flow naturally. You know, it's if the ratings keep going down, that's when you have a problem. But I think the ratings will be back up over 400,000 next week, or near 400,000 next week. I don't have a lot of doubt in that. With this show, they did everything you wanted to do, everything you needed to do. I thought it was brilliant, marvelous, fantastic. It was everything in the world that you could want or ask for. They're doing so much great free publicity for themselves on this Twitch channel, you know, broadcasting all day. They're still broadcasting. It's 1 in the morning. Josh Matthews is driving around to, I think, Joey Janela's spring break right now. And just the fact that they're still broadcasting. They've been broadcasting all day, you know, like since like 4 or 5 in the afternoon. Like, that's fucking cool. I dig that. Watching Scott Steiner shout, inappropriate comments at Josh Matthews, fucking hilarious. Oh, and the show was amazing. I love WrestleMania weekend because these are the shows we get. We get Super Card of Honor. We get the crossover events. WWN Live leads off the weekend with strong shows, I think on Thursdays or Fridays. You know, WrestleMania is an afterthought on their own fucking weekend, in my point of view. Yeah, they're going to have, 70, 80,000 people in the arena. But you're going to get the same fucking bullshit you get every year. Generic, nonsensical bullshit with 1 or 2 matches stealing the night. But this match, like, everyone's going to have a different opinion. You know, the Scott Steiner OVE Teddy Hart match, fantastic. The 6-man, good. The 3-on-3, fantastic. The tag team titles, amazing. The knockout titles, amazing. This is probably the best women's match I've seen all year. And it happened on Twitch. This is some of the greatest shit. I'm so hyped right now. Like, I haven't been this excited for wrestling in so long. Oh, they also announced, I think it's June, maybe earlier. Lucha Underground's coming back for season 4. It's only like 5 or 6 more weeks, guys. Actually, you know what? I spend all day yelling at the screen and typing and doing bullshit. I should probably do a little bit of things just to pay respects what respects are due. So season 4, June 13th of Lucha Underground. So there you go. Also, in some more news I'll be tackling Monday, Al Snow is now the official new owner of Ohio Valley Wrestling. He used to be a trainer there. Al Snow owns a training camp or a school in the UK, I think in England. So this is another big move for him. I don't know how his school is doing, but I have to assume he's doing quite well if he can afford to buy Ohio Valley. Ohio Valley turns a nifty little profit. Nothing that you're going to get like super rich on, but they're self-sustaining. They've been for years. They have their own in-house television contract. They have local promotion and advertisers, and they use developmental talents or training talents to put on solid stuff. And they put on, really good wrestling over the years. So I'm interested to see how Al Snow comes in and works with that group. If I'm Impact, while you want to use Border City Wrestling, I don't think Border City Wrestling runs all that many shows throughout the year. Maybe partnering with a former Impact employee in Al Snow might be a good way to get some of the younger guys some opportunities, because some of the BCW guys that I want to see more of on Impact, like Stone Rockwell. Did somebody say adventure? I would love to see him on OVW, because that would give me a reason to watch OVW. And then I could see more talent in OVW. This is how you make wrestling matter again, all cross-promotion. I love it. Oh, my God, what a great night. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys go and out your way to find it, because it's fucking worth your time. So, yeah, good shit, everyone. Woohoo! So, with that being said, I'm Chad. Be sure to check out the website at realnerdcorp.com, RealNerdCorp.com. We're killing it on the podcasts this week. We're killing it on the YouTubes. We're killing it on the website. So y'all keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate the fuck out of you. You guys are awesome. Dig it. dig it so hardcore. If you're looking forward to WrestleMania, I would recommend not following me on Sunday or just, ignoring what I tweet, because it's not going to be good. I already know it's not going to be a good show. I'm preemptive sucking. I'm preemptive hating the suck, if you will. Ring of Honor is going to be interesting, though, although I will be shitposting the Briscoes. So if you're a Briscoes fan, I don't care. But you can follow my live tweets. I try to keep them in one thread just because that's the cool Twitter thing to do. You can do that at NERDCORP. My personal Twitter account, which I'm going to spend more time talking about baseball on, more than likely, because most of my followers on my NerdCorp account don't care about baseball. You can find that one, my other account, Chad NerdCorp, CHAD, NERDCORP. Mixlr is mixlr.com/nerdcorp, youtube.com/nerdcorp, realnerdcorp.podbeam.com. Find us on the iTunes at NerdCorp. Facebook, we have a NerdCorp page, but I don't really fucking use it. Everything just auto posts to it, so like whatever. If you want to find us, NerdCorp Twitter at NerdCorp is the way to go. And our Tumblr, I think, is like nerdcorp.tumblr.com or realnerdcorp.tumblr.com. We post our Wrestler of the Week and our Woman Crush on the Tumblr, as well as posting just a solo photo of our Woman Crush and our Wrestler of the Week again on our Instagram account at realnerdcorp. If I'm talking too fast and you missed any of the links, all the links are available to you at realnerdcorp.com. Plus, we also have this year's 2018 WrestleCorp Hall of Fame inductees. They are now up on the website, so go check that shit out. Otherwise, I am going to bid you all adieu, start compressing the shit out of this video, and hopefully get back to checking out what the fuck happened with El Patron. So with all that being said, I'm Chad. This has been Making an Impact. Sorry, I'm Chad. This has been Making a Lucha Impact. Thanks for listening. See you guys soon. And remember, watch more wrestling.